Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Legendary Mad Matilda. Get the conclusion to the Spinsterella trilogy in online booksellers today. Actress Tisha Campbell has confirmed that the old Fox sitcom Martin is coming back for a reboot. And this follows the trend of other networks like NBC, which has brought back Will and Grace, ABC, which has brought back Roseanne and Sister Sister, and Fox, which has brought back The X-Files. And this whole trend is quite troubling because it shows me that many in Hollywood are out of ideas and they have no imagination and no vision to take television into the 21st century. Now, ever since the Telecommunications Bill of 1996 was passed, we have seen a complete consolidation of media. And back in the days before the Telecommunications Bill of 1996, we had numerous production companies competing with each other because only one person could own a television station, radio station, or a newspaper in one metropolitan area. And because of this, we had numerous people owning different stations and numerous production companies competing with each other to create content for those stations. And ever since that bill was passed by the Republican Congress and Bill Clinton, we've seen this consolidation of media, and media has consolidated to become literally 5 companies now, which is Sony, Disney, Warner Brothers, Viacom, and Comcast. And now that we have this big 5 media, we have no real imagination and no real creativity. And we have a handful of older executives at the top of these companies, and it seems like they're completely disconnected from the rest of the world. And because they're disconnected from the rest of the world, we're seeing television that comes from 1993 instead of television that reflects the world of 2018. And because these executives see the world from a 1993 perspective, they want to give us the television of 1993 in 2018 instead of trying to make efforts to create new and innovative programs on the television medium. This is why television ratings have declined and people have abandoned television for other platforms like Netflix, like Hulu, like Amazon, and like YouTube, because most of the content on that consolidated media platform does not reflect the world that people are experiencing today. When they take a look and they see networks bringing back shows that had been canceled over 20 years ago, they're saying to themselves, this is not television that I want to watch. This is television that some executive wants to watch. And it's television they want to create because when it comes down to many of these old executives, they not only want to see the world of 1993, they just don't want to take a risk and experience the world of 2018. When it comes down to many of these media moguls, they don't want to go out here and create new media because they're afraid that if they go out here and create new media, that new media will fail and they'll actually lose money on it. They want to go with the safest bet, and they go to their bean counters and accountants for ideas for television shows instead of going out here and taking risks that show how creative things are. Now, them bringing back Martin is deeply troubling when you consider how that show ended. Now, at the end of the last season of Martin, we had Tisha Campbell, who was at odds with Martin Lawrence, and she was so at odds with him, she literally left the show. But now that she's 49 years old and bankrupt, she's coming back for a Martin reboot. And she's coming back, Martin Lawrence is coming back, but one of the core members of the Martin cast, Thomas McHale Ford, has passed away. And most of these people, again, they are older, and I don't see how this show would work in this age. I mean, Martin was funny for the 1990s. It was a big laugh in the 1990s. However, the black community has changed, black experience has changed, and the black audience has changed. And that's the big problem with bringing back many of these old shows, is that the audience has completely changed. People have grown up. People have different tastes. Their children have different tastes. And seeing old people acting like they did in their 20s is not something that people would consider entertaining. I wouldn't really seeing a 49-year-old Gina and a 50-year-old Martin and a 50-year-old Cole and maybe a 40-something Pam as something entertaining. Their world had changed, and in the finale, Martin had finally gotten his talk show to Hollywood, so they had a happy ending. Put a period at the end of it and move on to something else. I mean, I look at Bill Cosby as the model for moving on. He didn't, when CBS offered Bill Cosby a comedy called Cosby, he didn't go out here and make the Cosby Show all over again. He made a brand new show which featured him as this retired guy trying to deal with life in as a retired man after working so many years. So he made a brand new show reflective of another time in another character's life. And that's what they need to do with instead of making these old sitcoms new again, because remaking these shows again how deeply disconnected many of these Hollywood executives in the big five are, how deeply out of touch they are, and how scared they are of the future. These guys are so scared of taking a risk on a new sitcom that they're afraid to go out here and create something brand new, something original, something unique, something that could really reach new audiences. They don't want to do that because they're afraid of losing money on it. But with the greatest risks come the greatest rewards. And when you play it safe, you never wind up really actualizing your potential. And I look at television, and what's really hampering television these days is that Telecommunications Bill of 1996, because ever since we got this conglomeration of media, what has happened is everyone has gotten afraid, and everybody's so afraid of risk that we're making fewer movies, fewer television shows, and fewer radio programs. And the few that are out there, they don't want to. They're just the same old thing all the time. We've got TV shows that are going 20 and 30 years, like Family Guy and The Simpsons, and we're not really making any efforts to be innovative, creative, or original on television platforms, radio platforms, newspapers, or magazines ever since this whole Telecommunications Bill of 96. Bringing back Martin shows me how desperate these guys are and how so scared they are of taking risks because they'd rather play it safe than step up and give people of the 21st century fresh and innovative comedy, because for them, they just would rather give us old shows with the same old actors instead of trying to find new actors and put them in a brand new show. Me, myself, I'd have no interest in watching a 49-year-old Tisha Campbell or a 50-year-old Martin Lawrence or Cole or a replacement Tommy Strawn in a new Martin. No, give me a brand new sitcom or contact a guy like me to help create a brand new sitcom like an All About Nikki and reach a new audience of viewers so that TV can finally find a new audience and more people can be entertained by new shows which reflect these times and not shows that reflect a time from a generation ago. If you'd like to see me make more videos like this, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to try some of my SJS Direct comedy, like All About Nikki the Fabulous first season, you may do so by clicking the link to Amazon.com. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.